Alright, what's up, Craig?
What's up, Craig?
Alright, welcome back to Spectated. We're at, episode 6 now?
Yeah, 6. Church.
Episode 6, man. They're going by fast, dude. They're going by real quick. Yeah, today, I think we finally figured it out by the end of the podcast, but today is NBA round 2.
Yes, sir. Crazy stuff be happening.
Yeah, we are recording this the day after the last game of round 2 because, I mean, first of all, like, college student finals and stuff. Second of all, like, this is something that's got to be discussed while it's fresh, you know?
Like, oh, shit. Kind of crazy.
This shit's crazy. And I want to jump right into what I found to be the craziest series.
Oh, yeah, by far, easily.
Yeah. Mavericks Suns. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Mavericks are playing like they're playing their hearts out. They're playing like they want to go all the way. Suns played like bozos, especially in that last game. Absolute bozos.
Oh, yeah, no, their last two outings just looked pathetic. Like, there's just actually no word for it. They just look so bad. Bad.
Game 6, 113 to 86. Mavs push for a game 7. And then game 7, Mavs win 123 to 90.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, and Luka's obviously the star of the series.
Oh yeah,
like easily like carrying the Mavericks.
Yeah,
I mean, even in their losses, Luka was performing insanely well,
super well. But I don't think you can really sleep on the way Brunson and Dinwiddie were playing, especially in game 7.
I mean, they definitely. Yeah, no, I think that they definitely needed to step up for the Mavs to win.
Yeah.
Because you look at right, like you look at game 1, game 2. Luka drops 45 game 1 and they lose, and then I believe he drops 35 game 2 and they lose. Like, it's like, especially that 45 performance. That
they should be winning.
I don't know how you're losing that type of game unless other people aren't pulling up.
Yeah.
Like game 2 with 35, Jalen only has 9, Dinwiddie 11. You have Bullock, the one that's scoring.
No,
which is just kind of weird. Which is weird too because Brunson had such a good series against the Jazz to pull the Mavericks through that series without Luka until the end.
I know it's like, really weird.
Brunson was having like 30-point games every game, pretty much.
Looking at him,
which is just it was kind of weird to see him sleeping at the start. But it just looked like the Suns were dominant.
Yeah, looking at him and
they just actually started playing.
Brunson in game 7, he got 18. Bullock got 19. Who else? Dinwiddie 15. So like they were all playing well. I mean, obviously they're not Luka scoring 33 that game. But yeah. Dude, the fact that by halftime the Mavs were up 57 to 27, and Luka alone had as many points on the board as the entirety of the Suns.
Yeah, actually, just sickening.
It was so crazy.
I was so ecstatic when I saw that, though.
Yeah,
I was just literally chilling in bed. I fucking open up NBA. And I'm like, what the fuck? Mavericks blow out Suns by 33, game 7 at Suns home. And then I look at this shit and it's just like Chris Paul, 10 points. Booker, 11 points. Cam Johnson, the highest scorer, 12 points.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Dude, their top.
It's sickening.
By halftime, their top players, Booker, Paul, and there's some
probably Aiden.
Like
their other big
boy. They had I think 4 points total by the end of the half.
I don't know. I was glad to see it. I thought the Suns team, like, they looked really dominant when they're playing well.
I feel like,
but it seems like Booker is really the only one that's even remotely consistent. Granted, he did not have a great game 7 either. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he did, right?
Points for Booker,
but
in 39
pretty
minutes.
much. Well, that was game 6. That was game 6.
Oh, I'm looking at game 6. Yeah,
game 7, he only had 11.
Yeah.
And so like for the rest of the series, though, like he pretty much played nearly as well as he did the rest of the season. It really seemed like, and I think Ayton played well too. DeAndre Ayton also did his job center really well, but it seemed like the rest of the team just crumbled in the series. Like Mikal Bridges was amazing during the regular season. Literally didn't miss a single game. He hasn't missed a single NBA game in like 3 years. Longest streak like ever, I think, pretty much, of like continuous games. And he literally just basically did nothing.
So I was looking at game 6 when I was talking about Brunson and Dinwiddie. I was looking at game 6. Luka was 35 points, not 33. Brunson's 24. Dinwiddie is at 30.
Yeah, no. They stepped up game 7. Yeah, they did step up game 7. I mean, they stepped up game 6 too.
I don't know if it's what happened in the finals last year against the Bucks that like the Suns just got super cocky and just blew it. Or what, but like it seems like they didn't even show up. They didn't leave the locker room.
No, it's just so weird because you know, in my head, like Suns dominated the first round of playoffs, right? Like actually just dismantled. Who were they against? The
it was
Pelicans or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I think it was like
4-1, 4-2. Something.
Yeah, it still went 6 games, which was unexpected.
Wasn't Booker out?
The Pelicans were also playing hot, and the Suns weren't. The Suns weren't really like playing all that shit. But coming into this series, right? Like game 1, game 2, Luka's dropping 41-35, and the Suns are still beating, game 1 only by 7, but game 2 by 20 points with Luka playing insane. So it's just like, so in my head, I'm like, yeah, like it's just going to be, a Suns probably in 5-6, right? Because it's like, if they're just actually just dismantling when Luka's playing at, top 2, top 3 right now in the playoffs performance, and they're still just shutting them out by a decent amount of points, I was like, it's over. And that's what the Suns have been pretty much all regular season, where they're going against these great teams and players putting up amazing performances, but they're still closing them out because they're just a well-rounded team. When they're playing well, you have Booker really leading the team. You have Chris Paul getting some nice assists. You have Ayton playing in the paint, playing really good defense. You got Bridges being really clutch role player, and it's working well. But in this series, it's just like after game 1, game 2, Chris Paul just turned off or something, man. Like the whole Suns team turned off. Booker was still playing decent. Ayton was still playing decent, but the rest of the team, like, I don't know what happened. It's crazy. Like Chris Paul literally just turned off. It made no sense to me. I don't know.
I don't even know, man. And I know what you said about how you feel about who's going to be postseason MVP or who is postseason MVP. But I think there's a legit debate for Luka, especially after this series. Like games that they lose, him dropping 40, and then like pushing through.
Yeah, I mean, 7. It's definitely going to come down to the next series too. Like if Luka can keep this up, definitely. Like I think he'll definitely be. If he puts up these same performances, of course. He's just been playing incredibly.
These performances, I can see them getting a game 6 or 7 against the Warriors. Like if he keeps taking the charge,
and I really hope they do.
I know you hate the Warriors and you absolutely do not want them to go to finals just because they do so much. But I think both sides in the West in this conference deserve it. Like,
no, yeah, I'm not gonna say, I'm definitely not gonna say the Warriors aren't a good team. Like, they're definitely the best team in the West right now. Like, I'm not delusional, right? Like, I'm not gonna just sit here and just because I don't like them say they're bad. They're clearly, I think, the best team in the West. But yeah, I really do hope that the Mavericks go. I really want to see Luka. I want to see Luka get a ring.
He really
honestly.
deserves it.
I think he's worked really hard for it. The only issue I have is I don't really think the rest of the Mavericks team deserves it. They're pretty inconsistent. Like, Luka is just so consistent. So consistently good. Where the rest of the team, like Brunson, definitely clutched up. And I think he's the only other player that could even, that I would put in and say, like, deserves a chip. But, he still had some bad performances too. The rest of the team, though, I really just don't think they're there.
I think that pretty much just might just be like a playoff player. You know what I mean? Like how LeBron really clutches up in playoffs. Like, don't get me wrong, Brunson is not LeBron.
If memory serves, I don't think he was too crazy during regular season. And I mean, he's not even like a crazy playoff player. Like, it was just he got thrust into Luka's position because Luka was out, right? And don't get me wrong, he stepped up. He did really, really well. And I think, he deserves success and a chip just off of that series. But then this series, he had some pretty bad games. He had some, pretty decent games, of course. And like, I'm not expecting him to drop 25, 30 points with Luka there, right? Like, I'm not expecting that. But consistently 15 to 20, that is what we should expect. And, a couple times he missed that, which is just kind of weird. But the rest of the team is just I don't know. Like, I don't really think that they deserve it, which is what sucks. It reminds me a lot of Giannis on the Bucks, right? I don't think the Bucks deserved the chip last year. Did Giannis deserve the chip? Absolutely. Absolutely. Best player in the league. Did the rest of the team deserve it? Absolutely not.
He deserves it. All right. He dropped only like 2 points in the game because he had 3 minutes to play. But like, come on, it's Boban.
Actually, just start Boban. It's over. Well, that would just be too powerful, though.
One of the most lovable players in the league.
Oh, easily, yeah. Ever since he entered, he's just been so loved.
Like, have him start against the Warriors, they literally will just sit there and let him drop 50 on them because they like him too much. He just
true.
He's too lovable. They'll literally just stand there and be like, "You can do it. Go for it." Plus, like, he's what 7'4", 7'5".
Yeah. No, man, it's so sad. I really wish he got playtime, but he's just too slow. Like, just straight up.
Yeah.
Because he's just that big. And the game,
faster.
NBA has just gotten a lot kind of quicker, right? Yeah, a lot faster pace, and you just can't keep up. He's just not
he deserves athletic to be a starter. He's a great big man. Big. I mean, because he's big. But
he do be big.
You got to work on that speed a little bit.
Big.
But
But yeah, I mean, just like, after the series, I don't know. I really hope that the Suns rebuild. I hated the whole narrative that Chris Paul deserved a ring ever since his like days on the Clippers, Thunder. Like, they've basically always been saying, like, I mean, he always comes just short. He came just short with the Thunder, just short with the Clippers, literally just short with the Suns. And so everybody's like, he deserves a ring. But it's like, if you've had all these opportunities with really good teams and like you're not pulling it off, like, I just didn't like the narrative that he deserved it. So I feel like he's just really not clutching up. And I mean, these last couple games have just shown that, like, he's played bad. he had, I think, the lowest turnover ratings in regular season, and then was just turning over the ball left and right in these playoff games. It was just weird. Like he just doesn't have that clutch factor. I guess.
I don't know. Again, he might just be one of those people that he can't clutch up because I don't know his personality, but maybe he's cocky. You know what I mean? And then like when they start to fall behind, he crumbles from pressure. I don't know. I think he might just be a player that they need a lead for him to play well. You know what I mean?
No, and I mean that was literally Booker. I think the stat line showed that the Suns, they were during regular season with Booker were, the top team in the league pretty much, or like top 5 in like offensive defensive rating. And the Suns in their minutes without Booker were like bottom 10 in both. So it was like clearly Booker is what is propelling the Suns to, first place in the West and to dominance.
Season, something like that.
So it's like when he's out or when he's not the one, when he's out or when he's not the one that's just hard carrying and putting up, great ball movement and putting up points, they just crumble. It seems like Chris Paul is just not. He can't step up and get like these crazy performances. It seems like Devin Booker is really the one that's kind of
what was crazy
gluing this team together.
Did you watch Game 7 at all, or did you just look at the score? Okay. Did you see that? Like
I watched the highlights.
The Suns were literally like triple teaming Luka, and he was still scoring on him. Yeah, he was still dropping threes, and he had 3 defensive players around him. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, is he just that guy, or are they just falling apart?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that the Suns were trying to take, the Celtics approach to the Nets, where the Celtics literally just only focus KD. And it worked really well, right? They swept them. But that's because the rest of the Nets team kind of crumbled. But then you look at this series, too, and it's like, they're triple teaming Luka. And I think that was a big part of why Brunson, Dinwiddie, Bullock needed to step up.
Yeah.
Because they're triple teaming Luka, so all these other guys just have free shots, really easy shots. It's just about converting. So once they started converting, we're seeing the Mavericks blow them out. Because Luka's doing his thing. He's destroying. He's drawing all these defenders. It really comes down to, if the Mavericks win series, it comes down to, can these other players just drop 15, 20 points on these easy shots?
Exactly.
That's what it really comes down to. And they did. And blow them out.
I'm looking at 2 of their players, and they're at 65 points. Adding another one, they're at 89 with 3 players. That is just as many. That is 1 point short of what the entirety of the Suns have made in that game. At 3 players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, plus it's like I gotta love. I love the faces that Luka makes when he drops like 3-pointers and stuff.
Oh, dude, Luka is funny. Yeah, he was clowning on the Suns after Game 5. He was basically he's like, "Yeah, I'm not worried. Like this shit's over." Like actually absurd. Yeah, I want to see if I can find the quote.
Or like this one.
Yeah, it's been really funny.
The interviewer was like,
message
for did you know you had just as many points as the Suns at the half? And he's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's the Luka special. No, yeah, Luka after Game 5 said everybody acting tough when they up. And then that was when they lost Game 5 pretty handedly. And then he's just like, fuck this shit. And just dismantles them.
Dude, But that quote that he said literally applies to the Suns during finals, like last year against the Bucks. They were up 2-0, and they started acting tough.
Yep.
And clearly, they did not learn because they were up 2-0 in the start of this series.
Yeah, no, like, it's just Suns 2-0 curse, bro. Like, I don't know. It's gross. I really hope. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I really hope that that they rebuild the team around Booker and Ayton. I think they need to get some better shooting guards in there, some like small forward, a new point guard. Because, I mean, they get rid of Chris Paul, right? They're clearing up a disgusting amount of salary space, right? Like there's just a lot of money getting cleared up there. And then they can use him. A lot of teams would take Chris Paul because he's still, a great point guard. But I think if they focus more on getting some new shooters and a better point guard, then I don't know. I think that they, could be a great team. Because I still think Booker is somebody who I do think should get a chip in his lifetime. Like he's been playing incredible the past couple of years. And I do want to see him succeed. Like, I like Booker. I think he plays really good basketball. So I really hope he just gets that opportunity next year.
I don't want the slander I'm giving the Suns right now to discredit the win for the Mavericks, because like they played well. Like they played really well, especially like other than Game 5. They kept it, and then like I guess Game 2 they lost by 20, but like other than that they have kept it.
Game 2 was pretty bad,
and then they just blow them out 2 games in a row. They just went, all right, we're done playing around. I guess they followed my advice and they put Mark Cuban in a mask and just had him play. Like I'm guessing that's what they did. That's why he was on the sideline.
Truest should have ever
heard.
Not
because he owns the team, but because they were playing him. But yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have to say about the Suns Mavericks series. I'm so happy. Like, we'll see.
Oh yeah. Agreed. Like,
how they do. We'll talk about it at the end, of course, like predictions and stuff.
Just to sum it up,
I really hope that it's a great series against the Warriors.
Booker, you deserve a chip. Maybe you need to go somewhere else to get it. Luka, you
deserve more, yo.
Absolute beast. You are that guy. Boban is God and needs to start. And
yes, correct.
Mavs are just. Yeah, Mavs, you're playing well.
Yep.
Hopefully. Yeah, Bucks Celtics. Oh my god,
baby. Okay, Bucks Celtics. Oh man. I mean, we both were calling and wanted the Celtics to win.
I have such a personal vendetta against the aftermath of this series, though, because like, if I may, real quick. Yeah, so I am in central Wisconsin.
I mean, you're surrounded by the delusional Bucks fans.
They lose Game 6 and 7 to lose the series. And I am hearing, it's because Chris Middleton was out. It's because Middleton was out. Oh my gosh, Tatum's going to get absolutely destroyed by Jimmy Butler and blah, 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 blah. They're just going on. And then I see videos, people are legit rioting in Milwaukee because they lost. I'm like,
so
what
sickening. Actually,
a small market team wins one final and they just forget how to act? Like,
yeah. And like, it was a fluke win, to be fair, too. It was a fluke finals. Giannis literally just willed that shit out of nothing.
Absolutely love him. He is my probably second or third favorite player. Yeah, because
and he's my favorite player by a long shot.
Team, but they have my two favorite players. They have Luka and Boban. But yeah, it's not even just because stats. Because I think Giannis is definitely miles better than the two. It's more of personality. But again, Giannis isn't a shitty person or anything. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, I absolutely.
Giannis is a sweetheart, bro. Yeah, he's such a sweetheart.
The other two are also
nice guy.
Yeah, fuck the Bucks. Yeah.
No, but fuck the Bucks. Fuck the Bucks. It's just that simple. Fuck the Bucks.
Do you know what
I hate them.
is?
One of my least favorite teams in the league.
Anonymous posting it. Yeah. It's an app where you can post anonymously and people
that's an app,
a few miles radius can see it and then either upvote or downvote. If it gets downvoted, it gets taken down. I put Celtics Warriors finals, and then it got downvoted too many times. It got taken down, and then I put fuck the Buck, and then it got downvoted, and taken down again. People are so salty.
Yeah. I mean, just getting into the series, right? Giannis is doing Giannis things. I think he has the highest, points per game of anybody in the playoffs. He's regularly getting double digits rebounds, near double digits assists. He's almost, getting up there to averaging fucking triple double. He's averaging what? Almost 32 points a game, 7 assists, and 14 rebounds.
Yeah.
He's almost averaging a triple double in playoffs.
Yeah, he's trying.
That is just absurd.
Honestly.
And it's just where's the rest of his team?
Bro.
Where
That's
are they?
What they said.
Where are
they said. So
please tell me. No. But I hate that narrative too, because it's
how do they
win game 1? How do they win game 3? How do they win game 5? Right?
They took them out.
Then why are
even like that?
Yeah, it's clearly granted, I do think the Bucks are a better
good,
team
if not
with Middleton. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but he's definitely elevated by Giannis. Giannis makes the Bucks look way better than they are. Drew Holiday is good, super inconsistent scoring wise, decently consistent on defense. Has his bad games, but scoring wise, super inconsistent. Chris Middleton, the exact same scoring, super inconsistent. Yet the Bucks are coming. Yeah, Grayson, Wesley Matthews. Who are these guys, man? I don't get why they're starting. Brooke Lopez is just, I don't know. He's been a pushover this playoffs. Just terrible defense. Grayson Allen. I hate him. I hate him. He's I think he's my single least favorite player. I hate Grayson Allen so much.
Yeah, back to what we were saying.
He's dirty, doesn't belong in the league, and he's trash.
People here. I was having a conversation with someone. I told you this. I'll just let it out for the podcast to hear. I was talking to someone about the Bucks losing, and that I was like, good. I hate most of these players. I hate Grayson Allen. Shit like that. And then they're like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, he took out Caruso 2 times.
Sure.
Oh no, Caruso, he averages 11 points a game. It's that's literally not his role. It is not his role to shoot. That is for DeRozan, for Lonzo Ball when he's playing, and then Levine to shoot in the paint. That is the role. Levine. He is defense. He can shoot when he's open and has a shot he knows he can take.
Yep.
That's when he shoots. That's why he gets the 11s and not 2. Yeah.
He's the one. He sets up picks. It's
what did they?
His role on the team is set.
Did they think when he got
for other people to score.
A chip with LeBron on the Lakers. Do they think that he was shooting 40 points a game? I legit do not understand. Like,
people are delusional. And I don't get it because Grayson Allen is pretty much universally hated. Even when he was back on Duke, since he's been on the Bucks, he has just always been a really intentionally dirty player. So he is universally hated. So it's just so weird that these delusional Wisconsin fans, bro, like, are just, I don't know what's going on in their mind. Actually need to get some brain scans or something. Put these homies in straitjackets type stuff. Like, I don't get how they can sit here and be like, he's such an amazing player. He's such an amazing player playing great defense on basketball and playing great basketball. Where he's like, I don't know why he's even starting. He's only starting because Middleton's not there. And he's dog shit. Playing like garbage. I don't know. Terrible player. But I mean, back to like the series itself, like, let's fucking go Celtics, right? Tatum, Brown.
I don't know.
Horford played crazy too.
I really don't know. Because, like, he played really, really great basketball some games, right? Other games, he was scoring like 5 points. Something like that. Like, 7 points. Those were the games that they lost.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say right here, like, he's still the fifth highest points per game. Don't get me wrong, he's all of playoffs right now.
Yeah, he's great. He does like
so like
really,
he's
really
still pretty consistently good.
But then like other games, I don't know. Maybe he's getting triple teamed like Luka was, and just unlike Luka, he can't like still make the shots, which is understandable. But I'm not 100% sure, but like his points per game just like points every game looked a little inconsistent, especially in this series.
Yeah, he definitely. I think the Celtics definitely have some consistency issues. Marcus Smart again, just not really playing nearly as good as he was regular season. I think Brown is pretty much playing consistent. I think Al Horford and Grant Williams definitely stepped up and above what they're playing. I mean, in this just this last blowout, Grant Williams with 27 points, and I believe that was on 6 or 7 3-points. It was nasty. He was just pulling up to the perimeter, pulling up to the arc, and it's just in. It was absolutely disgusting. I just
find it funny that like.
So I was so happy to see it.
Bring up for a second the fact that
Game 7.
Both of these games, both of these series, were the teams that went to finals last year and both expected to run it back, getting absolutely dismantled in a Game 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, definitely.
I think the Celtics were still the favorites, but like, I think so. So it's like less, but definitely like just not expected to get blown out.
Bucks were a huge favorite. You know what I mean? That like, it was hugely expected to run it back.
Yeah.
And
of course.
I'm very glad that that's not the case because, like, teams that run it back typically deserve it. Don't get me wrong. Like when 90s Bulls running it back 3 times, getting 3 in a row, and then like if the Rams run it back this year, which is like a likely thing in football, or like it looks pretty likely right now. They deserve it too. Matthew Stafford deserves it. Cooper Kupp deserves it. They all deserve it. But like the Bucks fans, like not Giannis fans, Bucks fans make the team so much more hateable for me because they are so delusional and they are they're pretentious. I know.
Dude, it's Wisconsin fans, man. Everything. Packers fans, Bucks fans, Brewers fans, even like University of Wisconsin, Brewers, like Madison, like Badgers fans.
Look they're crazy. Really good this year, right? Probably playoff bound. Packers, Aaron Rodgers, a top 3 quarterback, but they act like he's the the rising of Christ. Like he just has never done anything wrong. It's like, have you ever seen him play a playoff game?
Yeah, actually.
You see him against the 49ers? A team that the Bears won against?
Yeah, they're crazy. They're actually just
Wisconsin teams
delusional.
all that much more hateable, even when they don't deserve it. Because like Giannis absolutely deserves 0 hate. I don't think anyone can legitimately hate on him. But yeah, it's yeah, exactly. It's
he gets a lot of hate, but yeah, I
can hate on him. There's hating on him because he's good. Like he's not a complete douche like like LeBron is, like people say about LeBron, stuff like that. You can't say that about anything about him. Only thing I can hate about him is he's on the Bucks, and I really hate the Bucks because they have shitty players. They have like really douchey players, and then a fan base that's deluded and like so pretentious that at any other team they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the worst. You're the worst. Imagine." So me too, dude.
I'm so happy that the Celtics won. And I want the Celtics to beat the Heat too, just to show it's like Celtics are just a better team.
Jimmy Butler's going to dismantle the Celtics. It's like I watched Jimmy Butler play on the Bulls.
But what doesn't that narrative too just discredit the Bucks? Because then they're saying it's like, oh, how could Jimmy Butler dismantle the Celtics if Giannis couldn't do it? You know what I mean?
But he's
I mean, Jimmy Butler, fourth highest points per game, playing incredible playoff basketball. But like Giannis is just the best. Like Giannis is the best player.
Exactly. Like,
so it's like if he couldn't get through the Celtics because of his shit team.
Good argument that I legitimately
what makes you think Jimmy Butler is going to be able to?
It's so blood boiling to hear in the moment.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just discrediting to Giannis. It's like, to say that another player is going to be able to dismantle a team that he was
overall.
Granted, I mean, the Heat does have actual better players in Bam, Hero, like they have players that when they're playing well could probably beat the Celtics. Where I just even the Bucks playing well, it's hard to beat the Celtics. Where I think the Heat playing well definitely can. But yeah, it's just like, why are they discrediting Giannis? Like, Giannis played an incredible series and they still lost. Because you want to know why? Because you guys' fucking team sucks. Like, the Bucks suck. They're a terrible team. They're literally one player.
I don't know.
As soon as Giannis, I want him to leave so bad. I don't think it's gonna happen
because
ever. But I really want him
this
to.
Way, right?
That team's in Giannis
shambles. Is without a doubt, if not the best player, a top 3 to a top 5. No one can argue that he's not a top 5. Yeah,
there's not a single. There's no human I think that can even argue he's outside the top 3.
You got LeBron, you got Joker, you have other players that you could argue. Embiid, Butler, KD. You have other players.
Yeah, you have Embiid.
I don't agree
Butler,
with that.
Doncic.
I agree that he's top 1, if not top 3. But other people, there's no legitimate argument for past 5, beyond 5. Anyways, this is a small market team, right? Milwaukee's a small. If he wants a big contract, he is not staying with the Bucks. Small. If he does, they're getting rid of even these players that couldn't help him out.
I mean, his Supermax extension is the biggest in the league, which was kind of crazy. So he's actually getting paid. I think he might be the highest earner in the league, purely off of salary, right? Not
LeBron's
including
like a billionaire
sponsorships
now,
and whatever, right? Because LeBron
like,
would definitely be on top. But yeah. So, but I think purely off salary, I might be mistaken, but I believe Giannis is still the most paid. So it's like, I mean, if the Bucks, like if they get rid of Giannis, they're fucked. But if also it's like they keep Giannis, they're fucked, right? Like he needs to be on. Yeah, where I agree. Like I think he should be on a bigger market team, and I think they would dominate. Dude, put Giannis on any of these other teams that are in playoffs right now,
Giannis to Warriors,
and that team is winning the chip. Like
Giannis to Bulls,
pretty much any team, any of them, and I think they're just winning the chip. No, like, I mean, yeah, think of literally any playoff team, even like Pelicans, Timberwolves. Yeah. Just adding Giannis is like, definitely. Oh, okay. They go from 7th, 8th seed to literally 1 seed, like just the 1-2 seed, just instantly.
Yeah.
So I was really glad that the series went the way it did, because as sad as it is, I love Giannis. He's my favorite player. I love watching him play. I hate the Bucks. And I was really, I'm hoping that this can at least shut up Bucks fans for a little bit, even though they're delusional and are just going to copium. They're sucking on that copium right now. And I mean, I hope this next Celtic series, I think we both said we wanted them to go all the way. So
just real quick,
really happy
discussion. I'm looking at
but
the power forwards
what I have to say about that series.
The Bulls, because that's the position that Giannis plays. Literally, they have Patrick Williams.
Yep.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Yep, it's just Pat Williams, and
trade Vooch,
he's okay.
Just
but
slap Giannis in there with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Caruso, Lonzo. It's over. It's over. Like,
yeah, it's over. It's over.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
It's over.
Just get Boban. He's slow.
You'd need another center, but yeah, it's over.
It's just a role. Yeah, exactly. It's a big man.
Yeah, fuck it. He big though. He big. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also kind of through, because like the refs and like everything about the game was so in the Grizzlies' favor in game 1, and they still absolutely threw it. But then
they did throw that game too.
2, they win in a really close game. Game 3, they get blown out.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was with Ja dropping 47. 47 game 2.
Lose by 30. And then in game 4, they
and then they just get blown out by
3.
Fucking 30.
Game 5, they win by 40.
Without Ja too, which is crazy.
It was such a weird series. And then like I had said,
no
game
Ja.
6, Klay Thompson rides his bike to the stadium and then goes, I got this, guys.
Yeah. Klay actually just fucking 1v9'd. That was disgusting.
Yeah.
Is that Canaveras? I don't want the Warriors to win, but they played good basketball. They played really good basketball. Yeah, he's out here meowing. What is wrong with you, man? Get over it. But yeah, it just sucks that Ja couldn't play the last 2 games. I think he's probably the best young player. I believe he's only 22 years old. I believe so, which is he's only 22. So, he's literally the same age as me, which is just absurd. And he's already, I think one of the best in the league. And he's right at the beginning of his career. Like, give 4 or 5 years, and I think he's gonna be top 3 in the league. So like I'm really sad we didn't get to see him play more because I like seeing new people, new faces, but the Warriors are just a better team. It's that simple. They play better basketball. They have better players. I don't think a single player on the Warriors is better than Ja Morant, but as a team, they're definitely better. Because, you have Curry, Clay, Poole, Green, all doing pretty well. Looney was playing really well, too. Like, you just had a lot of people. Wiggins was playing decent.
And you already know.
The Warriors are just, they're just too good. Like, it's just a very well-rounded team. A lot of just very consistent players.
I hate to bring it up, but I have been saying.
Oh God, yeah, Iguodala.
I don't remember.
I think the Warriors elevated after he got injured. Same with Gary Payton.
I love being right. Before the season started, I said I think Warriors going all the way, and you were like, "No shot." Clay too hurt. He sucks now because he hurt.
Yeah, you did.
They not doing it. They'd suck without Clay. Now,
yeah,
you were right about that part, but you were wrong.
Hey, I mean, I was right. They did suck without Clay, but I think Clay came back. Yeah. No, I did not think that Clay was going to come back into form. I thought he was going to be playing like 60, 70%, but no, he's really putting in the work, and it's, it looks great. Like, good for him, man. Like, he's a great player. Like, I'm glad that he came back.
As I love being right,
he's good. Like, he is. He's playing well and deserves success.
It would just feel so good for the Mavs to go through, to just push through them. Because, like, I love them. I don't know what it is about that team, but they are like the most lovable team in the West.
I really hope they do.
I don't know what it is. They're just, I don't know. It's like they're not the Lakers. They're not like any of these huge teams, but like, Jesus, the wind just like absolutely blew through my room. But yeah, they're just a fun team, and I think if they were to beat the Warriors, then those finals would be absolutely amazing. That being said, do you have anything else you have to say about?
Yeah, I agree.
The series, like,
no, I mean,
yeah,
like the Warriors are they're kind of back, right? Like, they're playing well. Clay's playing well, and for me, I don't like seeing it just because the Warriors, for the 2010s, pretty much went to every single finals. So I don't really. I just think it's boring if they win again.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that they're not a good team. Like, they're clearly the best team in the West. I don't know if I can say they're the best team overall right now. I think there's an argument for that. But I think, definitely in the West, they're the best team, and they're playing incredible basketball. They have just so many good scorers. They have probably the most well-rounded team in the league,
already said this on like the round 1 finals or like playoff predictions episode, one of them. but I would like if they won. Like either of these teams in the West, if they won finals, I'm happy. I'm very happy for them because like, oh yeah, me too. Obviously, I'm buying 2 jerseys if they do. But
I'd
the
be
Warriors,
ecstatic if the Mavs on.
People have been like, I don't know if it was just this year, like the past few years, they've been just absolutely clowning on them. You're collapsing. They're collapsing. They're nothing. They're nothing. Then never going again. And here they are, proving them wrong. And that it really makes me happy. Yeah. Like when a team that has been deemed as like quote unquote collapsed, it just managed to pull through. Like especially when they have players like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson who do not deserve that hate.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree in that aspect. Oh, yeah. Like, I like that. But just from a, like, overall storyline, I'm just not a big fan of it, right? Because it's like, I don't like the hate on them, that they're a team that collapsed. I don't like that.
You think other teams deserve it more.
But I do think, like, you know, I just prefer new teams to constantly win and fresh faces. I don't like seeing something that's happened a bunch. Yes, exactly. But I do agree that the slander that they've had is just really dumb. Like it made no sense.
Like how Wisconsin people were trying to unintentionally discredit Giannis
a lot, and you know I'm glad that they could prove them wrong.
Dude, I agree.
Actually,
I think that's just about all I have to say for this one. So yeah.
Sure. So yeah, we'll just do Sixers Heat real quick.
I did not care about the series. Both teams are bozos. Heat won. I know that. Embiid was out. I know that.
Yeah.
Both. Wasn't he out for like the last 2? Something like that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Nah, he played.
Okay. Was he just
He just had a face mask. No. He played, I think, every game.
Oh, okay. It was just an injury.
He played every game. But he had like a face mask. I think there was like a nose injury or something. But I believe he played every game, but he was just like injured during the games. You know what I mean? So like he wasn't playing, or he was out. He was out game 1. Sorry, he was out the first 2 games. Sorry. Yeah, he was out the first 2 games. With injury, and then I know he wore a face mask, and I think the rest of the games because of face injury. But yeah, I mean they got shit on the first 2 games, which put the Heat to a 2-0 advantage, and already put the Sixers just
I know that
far behind, right? And when Embiid came back, he wasn't playing at 100%
to go through. Because like, how do you have Embiid and Harden and not pull through? But yeah, that injury really set them at a strong deficit. And Heats did not have the Sun mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Suns mentality. We're up 2-0. I mean, let's just take it easy now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jimmy Butler like really just put his head down and just kept playing great basketball. You know, I think, what is he? Yeah, 4th highest points per game. Had, let's see here. Yeah, like pretty much almost 8 rebounds and 5 assists. Like he was playing really good basketball. Like playing incredibly. Definitely elevated the Heat and kind of carried the team.
Jimmy Butler is a great player. I don't think he's like all that. I think he's a great player. He is capable of elevating teams, but he is not a Giannis or a Joker or a Embiid or a Hart, that class of player. Sixers, you're fucking clowns. You are clowns. Harden, you only pulled up for like 1 game.
Sure.
Like,
true.
Yeah.
I do think the Harden slander is pretty rough right now. because I do think so. When Harden went to the 76ers team, I think a lot of the slander is that like you're looking at his stat lines, it's like, oh, he's not dropping 25, 30 points, like he sucks. But Harden was never meant to be a scorer on this Sixers team. It's supposed to be Maxey, Harris, Embiid. Those are supposed to be the scorers. Harden is just meant to be the point guard, take up the ball, facilitate the plays, be the assist king, set this shit up. That was his job. And I, don't get me wrong. Like, he definitely had some bad performances in the series, but I still think he played
I agree.
decently.
But
I really think that if Embiid was fully healthy, the Sixers would have won the series. I don't think that. But Tobias Harris and Danny Green, awful performances. Yeah. Awful. Maxey, super inconsistent.
He's playing
Thibault off the bench, just kind of meh. And then, Embiid is just playing, at lower because he's fucking hurt and out first 2 games. But Sixers fans, like a lot of these Sixer fans, are trying to sit here and blame Harden, being like, Harden just didn't put in the work and give it his all. And it's like, Harden is not meant to be that scoring guy on this team.
He's meant to be king of
It's supposed to be these other players.
100%. But, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to double check.
They just play bad. It's just that simple.
I'm pretty sure there were games here that, like, his assists weren't great. His, rebounds, shots, everything just was not good.
No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's a great player. I mean, he's still second most assists per game during this playoffs, right behind Ja. But it's like he's doing a better point guard job than Chris Paul, right? Has more assists per game than Chris Paul. So like, I just think it was just really dumb because after the series. I mean, Embiid is just a not nice person. He says a lot of mean things, and that's why like a lot, Ben Simmons hates him, and like a lot of these old Sixer players don't like him because he pretty much runs the team. And Doc Rivers is just such a shitty coach. He's really mean too. Because literally after the series, both of them are saying that like, yeah, it's kind of they literally just said it's Harden's fault.
Especially when you just traded a bunch of people for.
And I just like that just is so sickening. Like you don't say that shit about your players, man. Like this is a team game, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like this is a team game. It's like clearly Harden is not the problem. Harden is not why you lost the series. There isn't, you cannot tell me that Harden is the reason you lost the series because he isn't. Don't get me wrong, he could have played better, but he is not the reason you guys lost the series. So I hate that they're just blaming their own teammate. It's like if they want to get better, because fully healthy and fully playing well, they are a championship ready and worthy team.
Bad chemistry is not going to play well.
Sowing these seeds of doubt and mistrust, like what are you thinking?
Can you imagine another team?
That's what I'm saying.
Let's
say
I
hated this the Suns, all this Harden slander after it just
this is so Booker's fault. He played really bad.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Or I mean, it's like there's one thing recognizing a player's having a bad game, but it's like if you're their teammate or player, you do not call out that, right? You're not gonna call out and be like, "Oh yeah, this is this guy's fault."
Yeah, we need to work on.
You're gonna be like, you say like, the team has some things to work on, and we're gonna come back stronger, right? Like Embiid, what I hate about Embiid is that all he does is blame.
I could have done better.
If they lose, it's like, oh, it's this. You know what Giannis says after they lose? Even though he's carrying far harder than Embiid, he says, he literally says, sorry, Milwaukee, sorry fans, I could have done better. I will do better. and I'm going to practice harder. That's what he says. And
Okay,
that is why I love Giannis and why I think he is such a great
here's
player.
The thing. This is like a
because
legitimate,
just has the better mindset
very
too.
legitimate.
Not
thing.
only is he great
And
on the court, but he also
role
is just a great teammate.
This is how you are supposed to act. You win. We played well. We played great.
Mm-hmm.
You lose. I played bad. If you take the blame, even if you played great, people are going to see you as humbling and taking the fall, but not bad because you dropped 40 points. They're going to be like, yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, Doc Rivers is just notoriously just that type of coach. Can't get a chip, and he's just been just kind of mean. And Embiid for the past 2 years has just pretty much played the blame game, and I just think it's gross. So, I mean, good for the Heat. Jimmy Butler, good job. You played really great basketball, man. Do I think that they're gonna beat the Celtics? No. But, it's just one of those series where it's like, I don't really care for the outcome, but it's just gross. The 76ers, Embiid, Doc Rivers, like management, and then a lot of the fans too, like, like they just can't recognize that the problem isn't just one player, right? Like, at first the problem was Ben Simmons, Seth Curry. Now the problem's like Harden and Danny Green. Like it's weird, right? Obviously the problem is Doc Rivers and the coaching staff and the management and the toxic environment. Like that is clearly the problem.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's always be something to hate or something to blame. But it'll never be, better in like a, healthier environment.
Not try to discredit teammates, especially a teammate you just traded so much stuff for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when he's playing well, the 76ers have looked amazing. Like Harden has had some incredible games.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the regular season, the 76ers were, I would say, the best team in the East. They were looking really, really good. Maybe the Celtics, right? But there was an argument there. And Harden was playing incredible. He meshed in the team, was playing his role perfectly, and the team looked really, really good. But then it's like they stumble a little bit in playoffs and aren't as dominant, and it just instantly turns to the blame game. It doesn't go to, you're right, where it's like a leadership, and what should happen is that, you know what? We can play better. We know we can play better, and we have played better. So let's work harder and become to this, and it just comes to, no, it's this guy's fault. No, it's this guy's fault.
The locker room,
and it's just so childish.
Is like a high school.
It's so immature, and it's just lame.
Like a high school level team. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do some updated predictions here.
But yeah, do you want to jump into wrap it up with some conference finals predictions? Some updated predictions
like that
and
here.
matchups,
let me
and then
look just real quick.
yeah, because next time we'll talk about basketball will be about a month, right?
Most likely after.
I believe so.
Yeah, most likely after finals.
Yeah, it'll be after the finals are finished. So I think it's about a month. I believe it was like June 17th or something. But yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
once everything's wrapped
next
up,
we got.
So these are kind of our
go for it.
Closing thoughts for a while. But yeah, I mean, I'll just jump into mine then if you're just looking for that. Yeah, Warriors, Mavericks. You know, I'm not going to be naive. Like, obviously, Warriors are the favorites, and they're probably going to win. You know, probably in 6 games, I would predict. But you know, I still want the Mavericks to win. I think that they can. It really just depends on, can Luka continue his performances, which, you know, I don't know if he will be able to. I don't know if the Warriors defense will be able to at least shut him down a little bit. But if Luka's playing at this level, and then you have Bullock, Brunson, and Dinwiddie all playing decently, like, I definitely can see, you know, there is a chance that Mavericks can win this series. It's not a huge chance by any means, but there is a chance with these side players stepping up and assisting Luka. But, you know, in reality, I do think, you know, the Warriors just have too many threats.
Yeah.
I don't think the Mavericks can really guard them all. And you know, I just think the Warriors, it's going to be a pretty easy 6 games for them. You know, I think the Mavericks will pick up some home games, but I think overall it's just going to be pretty easy for the Warriors. And yeah, I would say Warriors in 6. And then, you know, in the East, we have the Heat, which, you know, the Heat are just a fake 1 seed. Like, they should have lost to the Sixers. And, you know, I mean, they had an easy first round, just 1 8 seed. So it was like they should have lost to the Sixers. And I think that they're going to lose to the Celtics probably in 5, 6 games. The Celtics are just playing pretty well. They had a couple, you know, not great games against the Bucks. But I think overall, like, their defense, they'll be able to shut down Butler a lot harder than the 76ers could have. And, you know, they are just a much more well-rounded team than the Heat, because Bam hasn't been playing that great. Hero hasn't been playing that great. Oladipo's been okay. Kyle Lowry's been okay for the Heat. But I just don't really think that they have what it takes to get through the Celtics.
Really?
And then, yeah, finals matchup.
Okay.
You know, Celtics Warriors. I think Celtics defense, if it steps up, like, I do think they beat the Warriors. So I would get, but I hope that would go to 7 games. Hopefully, that'd be fun. Yeah, Celtics defense. I think Celtics, if they're playing how they've played during regular season and playoffs, I think they will like actually shit on the Warriors. Like, I don't even think it'll be a close series, but I want it to go to Game 7.
Okay, I will just let it out right now that
because Celtics have just so
conference finals,
many like defensive players,
and then like finals if they're done. Is June 17th. NFL seed prediction and NBA conference final. Spoiler for a couple weeks, about 3 weeks from now. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and the West conference finals in the West. Mavericks, Warriors. I think Luka keeps playing the way he's playing because, I mean, if we look at it, the games they lost, he dropped 40.
Yep.
Games they won, he was dropping 30 against the Suns. But then even before that, when he came back, he was dropping 30. Like, he hasn't stopped yet. You know what I mean? Like, he's been going strong. So I think he keeps playing like that. The question is, Brunson and Dinwiddie. I think they have games that they pull up. And because of that, I have Warriors in 7. I think Mavs, get, 2 wins in, then they get 1 in to force a game 7. I don't think they'll pull through because I'm pretty sure that would be an away game, and a game in Golden State's court, it'll be tough. I could see the upset. I am not saying that like Warriors guaranteed are going to pull through. I have that heavily favored, but
for sure,
it's it's possible Mavs can pull through, and that's what I want. But yeah, East, I got Celtics in 6. I think Jimmy Butler gets 2 wins.
Yep.
I think that's just about it.
Yeah.
I literally have nothing else to say.
Yep.
They'll probably shut everything down. I think Jimmy Butler dismantles their defense for 2 games.
I mean, there's not much to say. The Celtics are just a better team, straight up.
For the finals, I have Warriors in 7 because the Celtics, their defense is really good, but they can. It seems like they can be very easily discombobulated, especially like if you have, Game 6 Clay, you got, Steph shooting from 3, Poole shooting from 3, you got Looney. They have too many people that can go onto the perimeter and shoot from there. They can go. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so
yeah.
My thing though is that the Celtics, when their defense, Marcus Smart Defensive Player of the Year, when their defense shines, is shutting down perimeter, and they were shit on perimeter player. The teams they struggled against were teams with strong power forwards. They were struggling against, Giannis and Embiid. Those were kind of the tougher matchups for them because they don't really. Al Horford at center, they just don't really have somebody that big and can shut them down. But against these smaller shooting teams on the perimeter, they have just been absolutely disgusting on defense. So if they, that's why I'm saying, like, if they play the way in the same like perimeter defense they played, I really do think that the Celtics, it's just they will dismantle the Warriors. And I want it to go at least 6-7 games.
I don't know because like the teams that
just
the Celtics go against,
more content.
Do they?
But I think Celtics when they're playing,
do they have the pure amount of perimeter shooters that the Warriors have? It's like the Warriors, almost the entirety of everyone on the court can shoot from perimeter. Oh,
yeah, I mean, of course the Warriors have more than any other team, but you still have a lot of good defensive threats. Like, I mean, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, even Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum when they step up. Jason Tatum's been kind of slacking on defense. He needs to definitely step up. But I think for the Warriors to win is you need Curry, Clay, and Poole all playing really well, which doesn't happen too often. It definitely happens. And it's happened, probably like 2 or 3 times this playoffs where all 3 are playing well. But I think that is the only scenario I can think of where the Warriors win is with all 3 playing well.
Yeah.
And for them to do that for 4 games in a series, I don't really see it. I mean, obviously it could happen, right? The Warriors are a great team. And, who knows if the Celtics will be able to step up into that defensive role. I'm not sure.
Like, Celtics
but
defense
I
is
think
great.
just
They do
currently I would
like
still
Tatum, they have Smart.
give a decent edge to the Celtics
Tatum's
and have them in 6 or
shooting
7.
has been inconsistent, though. So, like, some of those games that he shoots, like, 7 and stuff, or, like, he doesn't shoot a lot of...
That's fair.
He doesn't get a lot of points on the board. if their defense starts to collapse even a little bit, which it does, there are going to be games, it seems like, that he can't get points on the board in retaliation to keep up. So I think the Celtics, the first half of the series kind of take the lead. I think it goes, they win the first game, they win the first, third, and fourth. And then the Warriors just kind of through games 5 and 7, they just kind of figure them out. You got game 6, Clay. I mean, so I can legitimately see, this is another thing that, like, I can legitimately see the Celtics winning. I would not be mad if
they're definitely.
It can happen, and if it does, they deserve it. Every team here deserves it, except the Heat. I don't really care about the Heat. Jimmy Butler just deserves it. These 3 teams, the Mavs, Warriors, and Celtics, all deserve it. Any of them win any of these matchups. If you have Mavericks, Celtics, I think it's close. I think it's.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure I said Mavs Bulls.
Oh, that's my dream matchup right now. That is my dream matchup, pretty much from the start of playoffs.
And then
I want it.
I guess I was realistic with the Bulls. I was just pessimistic with the Mavs, which I guess I shouldn't have been. I didn't see them getting past the Suns. But yeah, that would be great. I think if, let's just say, our 2 underdogs win, and it's the Mavericks Heat. What do you think? What do you think happens? Yeah. I think the Mavs I just think they win in 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say like Mavs in 6 or something. But then it's like, if the Heat somehow beat the Celtics, man, maybe they're just actually the greatest team of all time and just fucking win in 4 games. Fuck it, give me, if it's Heat Mavs, give me Heat in 4. Give me Heat in 4. Fuck it. Yeah, no, it would have to be like Tatum just dies, like fucking Al Horford just goes insane, like literally insane, and just has a mental breakdown in the middle of the court and just stops playing. And then Jaylen Brown is just playing off. It's just that simple. Like, under that, yeah, maybe the Heat win. I don't know. And even then, it might be close. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm excited to see what happens, right? We'll see, in about a month or so, we'll come back and be able to see, how things turned out.
Just, my
it's been a really great playoff so far. I'm excited.
Completely agreed that things are really shaping up to be really,
close us out with what's going on
with these
next week?
All these teams deserve it except the Heat. Jimmy Butler deserves it, but none of the rest of them. Next week we have MLB updates. Just going to be talking about things like how NL Central, AL Central are doing with the Cubs and Sox, how the NL West is doing. A few games, their discussions are in store. Hint, hint, Cubs, Padres. Hint, Cubs, Diamondbacks. Hint, Guardians, White Sox. Along with potentially some others. That's next week for us. All right. Peace out.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next week.